Cool. Abby, ready?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've actually turned that on. It's going to be a good start. Scott, thank you for joining us. We're back at home this weekend as we prepare to take on Barrow. Can I get your thoughts on the game first?
Yeah, another hard game, another one. Pete Wild has done a fantastic job there at Barrow, and I think everybody would think at the start of the season there'd be a surprise if they'd be where they are now, so that he's done a fantastic job. So we know it's going to be a tough game. You know, they're defensively really sound. They concede very little. They don't give up much ground at all. So we're going to have to be at our very best at the top of the pitch. But also they've got some real attacking threats as well, which we know about. So, you know, we've done the work this week. We're fully focused, fully prepared. Another game we're looking forward to. But like I say, with these remaining games, no matter who we play, we know how important they are and how big they are for us, because we're in a fantastic position.
Yeah, we obviously saw how earlier in the season how tough it was at Barrow. Obviously it's a tough place to go, especially out there. The fact that we're 3 unbeaten going into this game with 3 clean sheets must be, you know, very pleasing for you to be taken into a team that has proved, you know, time after time this season that they're going to be hard to break down.
Yeah, it is. You know, we're in a good place at the moment, and to be fair, they've had a really good season, like I said, but they've actually hit a bit of poor form themselves. So hopefully we're catching them at the right time. But we'll have to wait and see. But we're not, you know, we're not bothered about that. We're just focusing on what we feel we've got to do in the game. We know what their strengths are. We know what they do. We know how they defend. You know, we know where the spaces are, and we're gonna try and you know, really attack the game aggressively, and hopefully we get what we get.
Obviously a fantastic result against Accrington. You mentioned in the post-match interview there were still a couple of things that you perhaps weren't happy with. Have you been able to sort of touch on them in action then this week during training?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we always debrief the last game, always, you know, and we look at where we felt that we could improve on, and I think it's probably just a matter of both boxes really. I think that, you know, we when you watch the game back, we actually play quite well. We get through the initial press really well, but we don't make enough of them moments when we're kind of through. You know, so that's one area that I feel we need to improve on. And then defensively, just a few little bits and pieces. I think Corey made, you know, on reflection, Corey made 2 really good saves, really big saves. One was disappointing, where it was one ball over the top, where I feel we can deal with that better. And the other one was probably a bit of misfortune more than anything, where Dion's tried clearing the ball. It's hit Will, and it was a pinpoint save where he's tipped it over the bar. Apart from that, the other saves that he's made are probably basic saves really that he should make. So yeah, two big chances for them really, and like I say, one of them was our own man really, you know, clearing the ball, and it hit Will right in the face or wherever it hit him, and then Corey had to kind of tip it over from close range. But for me, you know, I just want them. I don't want Corey to do any work. I want Corey to be, you know, redundant on a Saturday. That'd be better.
How tough has it been selecting a side for Saturday? I'm sure maybe you perhaps haven't even made your decision yet, but we've spoken a lot in the last few weeks about how well everybody has performed and how there are certain, you know, players on the bench that have been making a real impact. Has it been tough sort of deciding which ones are going to, you know, start the game and perhaps end the game?
No, I knew what the side was going to be Saturday night for this Saturday, and I knew kind of what rotations I wanted to work on for this game. So I prepared that pretty much all week in my mind, and kind of watching Barrow, I think it suits what we're going to do. So let's hope we get it right.
Yeah, and obviously we won't talk about that yet, but we've got a few long trips coming up, so I suppose there's all that to sort of take into account. But how has the squad sort of been doing in the last few weeks in terms of fitness?
Yeah, all fit pretty much. A couple of bumps and bruises. Ben Gladwin obviously still a fair way off, but he's actually been out on the grass today training, or certainly running. So yeah, he's a fair way off yet, number of weeks maybe. So, but everybody else is there or thereabouts.
Yeah, we speak a lot about the fans. They can have a big impact, as we know, coming up in the next couple of weeks. You know, we've got some massive home games and some games against, you know, opposition that are around us in the table that, you know, could have a big difference in terms of where we go, you know, depending on who wins the game. So I suppose the message to them is sort of get behind the boys, because it should be a really exciting few weeks.
Well, yeah, we're gonna play every game as if they're cup finals. We have to, in order for us to get to where we want to get to, or at least have a chance of that. We feel that we've done extremely well. We've got ourselves in a really good position, and we're going to treat them as cup finals now. And let's see where it takes us. And the message to the fans would be, we want them to support us like they're in cup finals as well. I think that's really important, which I think they do anyway. So long may that continue, because I think it's important to us. I think they're brilliant, home and away. And I think it's really helped us this season for sure, and I think they can have a big help in these last 13 games.
Thank you.
Scott, yourselves and Barrow are probably the two teams who have exceeded expectations most of the season. What is it about Barrow specifically, do you think, has been their secret to their success this year?
They're really well coached in terms of, they're really well organised, really well organised. They play, with a lot of numbers behind the ball, but they spring forward really quickly. So it's very hard to break them down because they've got good numbers behind the ball. But like I say, if they turn the ball over and there's quick transitions, they play the ball forward quickly and they arrive quickly. They've not conceded loads of goals. They've been really solid as a team, not just the back line or the defensive unit, but the whole team know how to defend and stop and block. They don't really press you, but they really block up the gaps and the spaces really well. And they're quite frustrating to watch sometimes, but they're very good at it. What they do is when they win possession, they attack really quickly, and they're good at it. And Pete's got them really well drilled, and I've been really impressed with them. And like I say, I think at the start of the season, I wouldn't have backed them to be, as probably nobody would. No. Back them to be where they are in the division. And to be fair to Pete, they've been there all season. Not really dipped out the top 10. I wouldn't have thought. I might be wrong. I don't know, but I don't think, from my memory, I don't think they have. So he's done great with them. And they're in a little bit of a dip at the moment. But everybody does. You know what I mean? It's a long season. Everybody does, and there's nothing wrong with that. And let's hope they come out of that dip, but after we play them.
Yeah. And obviously, it's now sort of in your hands a little bit with your game in hand and that. If you win the rest of your games, you're in the playoffs effectively. I mean, what is the secret to your success this year, do you think? How would you put it?
Well, I think it's always been in our hands, first of all. I think it's always been, in our hands. It's down to us where our destination's up to us. But the secret, there's no real secret. It's hard work. It's really simple, really hard work, and hard work from the staff, hard work from the players on the training ground, the detail that we go in terms of how we want our players to stop the opposition, but also the detail in the work that we do in terms of how we play. And that can only happen through being on the training ground and really concentrating and going through this detail with the players, so that players understand it. I think the message has to be clear. I think that's important, that I get the message across to the group really well, so they're really clear on what I'm asking them to do. They've taken a lot of information on board this season, and I've got to be honest with you, they've executed pretty much every game plan spot on, and I can't complain. It's just really down to hard work.
And Harry Ransom, after Saturday's win, said he doesn't know what you expect of him in terms of goals, but he said he thinks he should be scoring more. Is that something where you think you should be scoring more from the set pieces and from your defenders?
Yeah, we're quite high actually on set pieces. I think we're 4th or 5th in the division for the highest scorers from set pieces. So we've been pleased with that, and we're actually the best at defending in the whole division from set pieces. So the work that we do in the background is really important, and we do a lot of work on it. Let me tell you. But yeah, for sure, I'd like to see, and I did say to Harry, be the one that gets the goals from set pieces. Be the one that steps forward and really be brave and stick your head on stuff. And sometimes it's hard because the ball doesn't come into the area where you've attacked. Sometimes it's more luck than anything else. I know we work on different movements, and we play it short quite a lot to draw another one out, to create a bit more space to put the ball in a different area. I know sometimes the fans get frustrated with some certain movements we do and short corners, but there's a lot of work that's gone in and a lot of research has gone in about why we do it. And listen, they don't always work. You know, we don't just want to be a team that slings it in there and hope that we get on the end of it. We want to try and manoeuvre people about. We do a lot of work on it. But yeah, for sure, I think Harry certainly is somebody that we feel that can score more goals. And I have said to him before, be the one that gets, you know, 5, 6, 7 or 8 goals a season, you know, and then all of a sudden it makes it impossible for me to leave him out, sort of thing, you know.
And I know you're someone who likes to focus on Crawley Town. When it's like Tuesday night just gone, you're not playing, and there's a load of games that are around, certainly at this time of the season at the business end, how much are you watching all those results coming on Tuesday night, or is it a night off for you?
No, not a night off. No, I had the results coming in. You know, I didn't. I just had Sky Sports on, like the live feed coming in, and just watching the results coming through. Like, you know, I thought the results were quite kind for us, really.
They were, weren't they?
Tuesday night, so I was pleased with that. I know Walsall kind of leapfrogged us, fair enough. You know, but like I say, there's still 13 games to go from our point of view, and we just got to focus on what we do. Yeah,
you said it. I think it was last week that for some reason or another, the teams like Notts County, Wrexham, are starting to drop points. And I mean, is it just there are teams fighting for their lives against these big teams, or is it? Do you think it's the long season that's paying its toll on these?
Yeah, I think it's probably a mixture of both. But I also think that it's the ones that hold their nerve the most that stay in there. You know, you've seen obviously Notts County, Wrexham, Harrogate. You know, had a brilliant run. They got themselves in there. Now they've fallen away a little bit, and Barrow, another one who's fallen away. Not fallen away, but they've dropped points just lately. You know, and it's about holding your nerve. And I believe that with our group, that, you know, we've got no right to be there. Do you know what I mean? As probably Barrow maybe think that as well, but you know, from our point of view, we've got no right to be there. So I don't think it's a case of us holding our nerve. It's just a case of us ploughing through these fixtures and getting as many points as we can get, and let's just see where it does take us.
Brilliant, thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you.